what's good everybody? It's your boy SBX coming to you once again with another video, and this time I want to talk about and watch with y'all. I'm going to share y'all, in fact, a video on a old classic 1990s television show called The Rolanda Show, which I've never heard of before. I mean, maybe I was too young to remember, because I know I was a young buck since the 90s and the early 2000s. But to be honest though, folks, I really thought that I would like to share you my thoughts, and it's on a YouTube video, just in case if you want to look for the full video. The link is under the description box. And I thought maybe I would like to share the show to y'all and voice my opinion with the commentary, just because this is an interesting topic. You know, I to be honest, I miss television shows back in the 90s where you have crazy motherfuckers make things very controversial, and you know, all these TV hosts always should give you good topics to talk about. And sometimes nowadays on television shows, always the baby mama drama, the, you know, basically who's cheating on me on some Maury Povich type shit, and Steve Wilkos and things like that. I remember growing up in the 90s as a child. I remember shows like Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones. That's my prior knowledge of like daytime television shows. And today's generation of talk shows, you have like fucking Wendy Williams and The Talk, The Real, and all these other phony baloney television shows for women to poison their minds, all with some bullshit. And also the same concept with the Maury Povich show and Jerry Springer and Steve Wilkos. I mean, Steve Wilkos can keep it real sometimes, but I personally believe that this shit is the same concept, you know. It may be biased of what I'm trying to say, but I feel like 90s TV shows were a lot better. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, shows like Jerry Springer, I think Maury Povich, they started their show in the 90s as well. But to be honest, 90s talk shows were the shit. And what we're watching right now is some watered down, same old rotation type bullshit all over again. So anyways guys, enough of me blabbing my fucking mouth, and let's go on and just watch the damn video clip of watching the Rolanda Show. And again, this show is basically about Rolanda giving a special episode where she interviews some two racist Nazi paraphernalia motherfuckers who are very self-entitled to their thoughts about how they think it's best for white people to live in America, or separated between the whites and the black, like this is some Jim Crow shit all over again. So yeah, anyways guys, enough of the talking, let's get to watching. So hit the clip.
Hey everybody, I'm getting ready to do the show, and let me tell you something. I've got to admit something to you. This is not going to be an easy show for me to do. The last thing that I ever want to do on television is give a 1-hour platform to a bunch of racists, especially young kids who are racist. But I was talking with my producers today before we did this show, and we thought it was important to do because all of us need to keep our fingers on the pulse of racism. It seems every time we pick up a newspaper, we're reading another story about racism, intolerance, some kind of ism, whether it's black churches being bombed or Mexican immigrants being beaten up coming over.
Hold up. Now, this woman sounds real country as hell, if you ask me. Now, I've known Southern people. I got family from the South. I have friends from the South. And I have no idea, or have any idea, that someone like her will talk like this. She sounds like she's from a real country, hillbilly, Bama, small town, hick town, to be talking like that. I never heard no accent like that in my life. That's like the stereotypical version of a Southern accent.
Over the border, or even Marlon Brando making that statement that upset the Jewish community. It just seems that all of us in some way or another are touched by racism and intolerance. Yeah, I can remember being 4 years old, growing up in North Carolina.
Well, no wonder. Shit, pretty much I guess that shit right. But I got family in North Carolina, so shout out to all my family in North Carolina. Shout out to the whole North Carolina state. But damn, that chick is super duper country. Like, come on, man. I never hear no country accent like that.
And I remember I was in kindergarten. And we were real excited because we were going to go to this country club and go for a big picnic, and all the little kids were excited and
All
they were
the little
happy.
kids
It was
excited.
spring, and I ran home and I couldn't wait to go. The day of the picnic, my mother and father decided that I wasn't going to go. We were going to go visit my grandmother instead. And you can imagine how upset I was about that. It wasn't until I was 16 years old that my mother and father sat me down and explained to me why little Rolanda couldn't go to that picnic.
Cause Lil Rolanda's black ass pretty much attract the wrong racist people. Pretty much your ass is black. You're in North Carolina. Well, probably some hick ass town, North Carolina. So basically, yeah, you're gonna get that racist attention.
You see, I had come home one day with a note pinned to my little jacket. And it said, yes, we're having a
We having a barbecue, but no niggers allowed.
picnic, but Rolanda can't go because they don't allow blacks in this country club.
Racism.
I pray that no other children have to go through that. That's why I'm going to do the show today. Let me introduce to you someone that I have met who is a very interesting man. His name is Johnny Lee Clary. And Johnny, a lot of people are going to freak out when they understand that you are the former Imperial Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you mean to tell me this guy who looks like Beans from Even Steven used to be an imperable wizard? Like, what the fuck is a imperable wizard? That sounds like some shit that some nerds who play fucking World of Warcraft pretty much rank themselves for being in a high class or something. Well, how ironic. But for real, he do look like Beans from Even Stevens.
Now, Johnny claims that he's a changed man now. He's not a racist anymore. And Johnny, you say that you're going to deal with some of these kids out there, some of these kids who are so racist, so bigot. You can change people? Can you really do that?
Well, I can't change them, but the Lord Jesus Christ can change them. You know, hatred.
Okay, yeah. Let's fast forward to the TV show.
The things that they're thinking about, the things that are important to them, and as we enter into this new day, I think all of us want to know, what are our kids going to do about hate?
Easy. Video games and rap music. It ignites the hate. Put a little hate in your heart.
Our first guests say they don't care what Johnny said backstage. They say they're never going to change their racist ways of thinking. These young people say that blacks, Mexicans, Jews, anybody who is not white should get out of America and make this a white homeland. I want you to meet 22-year-old Jeff. He's a leader of a group called the National Socialist Movement. He is joined...
The hell type of shit is that? Like, look, he try to look all hard and shit. Like, he thinks just because he has a fucking shaved head, wearing a fucking Nazi uniform, he think he a G. Come on now. This boy's soft like a fucking biscuit.
by 17-year-old group member Bob.
Whoa. First of all, look at Bob. Man, look at Bob looking like an albino version of Morpheus from the Matrix. Probably stole his damn shades. Shit, who you fooling? Think you all tough and shit? Wearing a fucking neo-Nazi outfit on, rocking a black bandana. You ain't even sure what gang you want to represent. The Crips probably fucking denied your application. The Bloods probably turned you down. You only be accepted from the fucking neo-Nazi KKK group, and you probably stole the fucking Morpheus glasses to make yourself look cool. You get what I'm saying? So you pretty much jack Morpheus's style. So I guess you call yourself a neo-Nazi gangster skinhead guy in the Matrix. Ah, I see. I see your style. How clever. Not.
Guys, I gotta tell you, I don't really want to meet folks like you. But I'm going to take this chance to meet you just so I understand where you're coming from. I have to admit, I look at you, you're so young. It breaks my heart to think that you might be filled with so much hatred. Why? How'd you get involved in a group like this?
Well, let me tell you, it's not hatred. It's love for our own people, love for our own race. You have all these other races, and they can have black pride, black power, Jew power, etc., etc. But anytime a white person is to stand up and say, you know, I'm proud of being white, you know, we're shot down and said, oh, he's a racist, this and that.
But Jeff, if I'm to stand up and say black power, or I love my people too, I'm not saying kick out everybody else out of America.
I'm not saying necessarily that we need to kick everyone out of America. We need a white homeland. And no matter what happens, we're going to have that white homeland. Any means necessary.
Bob, does that mean kicking people who look like me out of a homeland that my ancestors and my relatives helped build?
Well, they all, we want our own homeland. We just want a section of the country, and that's it. You know, you can have whatever else you want. You know, we just want a
Bitch, this ain't no fucking sandwich. You just don't cut it in half and say, this is your half and this is your half. No, that's not how America is made. So, you know, the whole point of the American independence is to freely be where we want to be and gain independence and live wherever we want to live. And you mean to tell me that you're very closed-minded and delusional and to assume that America is made for white people, since your great ancestors helped stole the country and fucking raped and burned and killed many Native Americans in the country, and you claim that America was the first white country in the universe. See, it goes to show, as us Americans, we're really that damn ignorant. Like, it's not even cute at all, bro. Like, we're the most dumbest country of all time. And I hate for me to say this, even though I'm American myself, I prefer being a foreigner. Like, at least my mind straight is really open, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's some ignorant people from other countries, and racism goes a long way from other countries abroad, but most foreigners really think that we're really that damn stupid and racist. So, let's continue.
But what if you want my section, where my house is? Does that mean that you're going to kick me out of my own homeland?
There'll be white people in your section will have to come to our section. So we'll do whatever we have to.
We'll split the country up. It doesn't matter. You know, a lot of times people will say, oh, why don't you go back to Europe? Well, we can't go back to Europe. There's no, it's overrun. It's overrun, just like it is here. You look at your audience. We're filled with, you have a multiracial cesspool here in New York City. And just to get back on the Johnny Lee Clary subject, I want to say something about Johnny Lee. He's a racial traitor. He came into the movement a while back, and now he's basically saying that he doesn't believe in it anymore. Well, he probably never believed in it in the first place. He is a white racial traitor. He was, I don't know, he probably sold his race out for a bag of nickels.
You know what I would do for a bag of nickels? I'd probably buy some chips, something to drink, or put it in my bank account to save and put money in there. So, I mean, hell, I guess if you were to be white and you used to be racist, and in order for you to sell out and get a bag of nickels, you gotta be a sellout. Wow, that's where the money is.
Well, this is the type of discussion we're going to have today, folks. What can we do to talk like this? Johnny's got a few things to say to you, too. He says he can come out here and change you boys. We're going to see what you have to say about him. Tackling intolerance and racism in America. Can we do it? Stick around for this heated debate on White Power.
White power! White power!
Oh, it really scares me. I'm so proud of this country. I am so proud to be an American.
I sure as hell ain't proud of being American.
I love this country. I kiss the ground of this country. But it frightens me. It brings tears to my eyes to talk with people like we're talking to now, 22 years old, and another teenager here. Bob, how old are you?
17.
17. And Bob is in disguise, by the way, not because he's embarrassed or ashamed of being...
He's just not sure which gang he represents. He want to be a Blood. That didn't work out. He want to be a Crip. Crips say, hell no, we don't do racist shit here, cuz. The Vice Lord say, go fuck yourself. He just said, fuck it. I'm just gonna pretend to be a thug like I really meant for a gang. And the Nazi skinhead said, hey, you can join in. I mean, you're white, so you automatically approve. And he stole Neil's glasses from the Matrix. And basically, he's just a gangster Nazi in the Matrix.
A racist, but because he's a minor and on television we have to cover his image. These two young men say they are darn proud of being racist as young as they are. They say that blacks and Jews and anybody of color who is not white needs to get out of their way because they say America ought to be a white homeland. How in the world did you guys get involved in an organization that would make you so proudly display swastikas that mean death and destruction to so many people in the world?
It was not a choice. It was something that we had to do. This country's turning into a sewer. I don't like this country for what it is today.
I never liked this country from the beginning when it comes to bullshit like that. And you're the ones who are fucking up the country and corrupted it as it is. So how can you fucking say that you don't like the country and most of the majority of people who fucked up this country is pretty much you people, which is white people. So, yeah, pretty much that's my vendetta for this so-called white supremacist world.
Say that I'm going to have a job as good as my parents and my grandparents had, and any other white person is pretty much in the same boat.
Why?
Because the country's being overrun by immigrants. We've got the mud flood coming across the border from Mexico.
And what's the mud flood? Mexicans? Is that what you call Mexican immigration, mud floods?
Yep.
Okay.
The mud flood is coming across our borders, taking our jobs.
They took our jobs!
Mexican person?
Sure, I live in a ghetto.
No, he did not say he lived in the ghetto. Like, you know this nigga's lying. Like, first of all, if you was from the hood and you dressing like this and acting like this, you know how many niggas will fucking kick your ass? Yo, I'm telling you, this guy is delusional, yo. He put the D in delusional. I mean, come on, man. Like, in the hood, we ain't gonna fuck with that racist shit. We ain't gonna be tolerated to that damn Nazi shit in the fucking hood. And you rolling in with your whip and you have the license plates and it's all some Nazi KKK shit. And you rolling in the hood, rather if you was in Brooklyn, the Bronx, Compton, Bankhead, or somewhere in the hood, and you talking about like, okay, I live in the hood, I live in the ghetto, and life is so hard for me. Nah, and to me, you look like he actually, he looked like he lived in a fucking trailer park. That's where he's from. Ain't no damn way white people gonna live in the ghetto. This is our territory. So that is something that your people are trying to gentrify to pretty much wipe away the black people to make the upper class white people to live in the neighborhood they once lived 50 years ago or whatever time period. So yeah, get your facts straight, bro. You don't live in no goddamn ghetto.
We have to deal with them every day.
Every day, all night long.
Get harassed, attacked, everywhere we go.
Gee, I wonder why.
Let me ask you, at 17 years old, what was the day that you decided, you know, I could join a whole bunch of other groups at 17 years old, but you know, for me, I'm going to join a group that doesn't like anybody but white folks. What made you decide, Bob? What was it in your life that made you sign up?
When I was 14, I was going to middle school, and I started noticing all the Jews around me, the blacks around me, how they're getting the special privileges, and I just got...
Wait. Yo, he's talking about Jewish people and black people having privileges, which white people had privileges since the whole couple of centuries. And you're saying to me that you're mad at the fact that black people and Jewish people have privilege and you don't, which it's pretty much the other way around, if you ask me.
I was sick and tired of it. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to do something for our race before it dies out. It's going to die out soon.
That brings up a very good question. Affirmative action thing. They say that affirmative action was made for the minorities to get special privileges, special jobs, and all this kind of stuff. All right, well, you look around in New York City. The white people are the vast minority here, as in our area of where we live in St. Paul.
That's a bullshit lie. We're the minorities. We always was and we always will be the minority race. So y'all niggas must be on some heavy drugs. Like, not even weed can make you think this way. They must have been on some crystal meth or some like straight out methamphetamine type. Well, crystal meth, methamphetamine, same shit. They must have been doing some hard drugs, some crack, some crystal, some angel dust, or what white people love doing the most, huffing. You don't see niggas huffing.
And why is there still affirmative action? It's a big joke. It's to spit on the white race. That's
so why don't you do something constructive like learning to vote and being part of a government movement to bring up another voice as opposed to hating people?
We're part of a government movement. We're for a new government, National Socialist government.
Not my government.
Not mine.
Not my government. Let me tell you, we've earlier in the show we met Johnny Lee Clary, who's a former Imperial Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. He says he's changed.
What is up with the Imperial Wizard shit? Like, that sound like something from a fucking video game, like World of Warcraft or Dungeons and Dragons type shit. Like, Imperial Wizard. Wow.
Changed his ways. He is no longer a racist, and he believes he can take the two of you and turn your lives around. Get rid of this racist attitude. Do you believe that he can do that?
Hell no.
No way.
Wait a minute.
Actually, despite the fact that I pretty much disagree on everything that they live by, the one thing that I can agree on is pretty much like agreeing that the fact that this guy beings will help change the mindset of these young boys, or just the whole concept of racism towards white people in their toxic minds. But yeah, you can't fix stupid, you know. Let's be real, sometimes people are very stubborn and they're going to stick to their own ways. So, you know, there's a saying to it: ignorance is bliss.
I do respect that he wants this promised land of his own, because we all want our own promised land. But if you want a white promise,
are you Jewish or are you white?
what color is my skin?
No, I think I know you're Jewish. Sure.
What color is my skin?
No, you're Jewish.
What color is my skin? Answer that question
The
for me.
devil, the seed of Cain. It says so in the Bible.
Okay,
That's why I don't follow religion no more, because people believe in the dumb bullshit that they're reading, and sometimes in the Bible it's not 100% accurate.
But what color is my skin? Green. Oh, it's green.
Wow, I never know Jewish people can be green. I mean, I know there's white Jewish people, there's black Jewish people, but I never know there's such thing as green Jewish people. So you're meaning to tell me that the Jolly Green Giant could be Jewish, or Gumby can be Jewish, or the Incredible Hulk can be Jewish? Like, the gamma pretty much make you Jewish. I didn't know once you have that gamma in your system, you're automatically Jewish. So that means the Hulk should pretty much wear a fucking yarmulke on his head and pretty much have a bar mitzvah and probably has his dick circumcised and pretty much eating fried potato pancakes and spitting dreidels all the time. Yeah, he about that Jew life. So once you go gamma, Mazel Tov.
Okay, well then you need glasses or something, okay? Because I am white, okay? It's on my birth certificate.
Listen,
Let me ask you this. As a white man listening to a young white man talking about this type of thing, what does that do to you?
Makes me feel pathetic inside and kind of nauseous because, you know, these are two young men with a lot of energy, and you can see that if it was just turned around and put in the right direction, they could really do a lot of creative things in this world. I'm also an angry, quote-unquote, white man. It hasn't been easy for me. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I've had more...
He should write a movie or a book called The Diary of an Angry White Man. Like, Tyler Perry should pretty much do that since he's already a sellout. And he should make a movie called The Angry White Man. Diary of an Angry White Man. Or, better yet, Diary of an Angry Green Jewish Man. Oh, Isaac! This is perfect!
Peaks and valleys in my life than the Rocky Mountains. But you know what? I don't wake up in the morning and say, God, because that person got the job instead of me, or because I got fired, or because of this, I'm going to pick up a gun or wear a swastika and provoke this type of insinuation that I'm going to liberate the white people to this extreme. If you want to be white and you want to find this homeland of yourself, that's fine. But what you're indicating by just your outfit alone is, with the swastika, is you're not just looking to love the white people. You're looking to hate everyone around you, because that's what that swastika symbolizes. That's number...
Facts.
Number 2 is, I'm just curious to know...
You're prejudging me.
Because I do respect what you're saying in regards to you want a white homeland.
Here comes the biased statements again.
I hope it happens for you, but not in the way that you're construing it. But I just want to ask you a question or two. When you were a child, were you
Wait, let me take a...
Damn, he sound like somebody's counselor. Like, better yet, he sound like some guy from a fucking suicidal hotline asking these, personal questions. Like, have you ever thought about stabbing or hurting yourself or any type of harm? No. Okay. Have you ever had thoughts of committing suicide? No. Okay. Has anybody had pretty much abused you when you were younger? Has anybody bullied you in your life? Have anybody didn't love you, hurt you, or any other way before? Yes. Okay.
Break. Let me take a break. He's so good. I don't want him to stop. But let's take a quick break real quick. Also, as young girls, many of us started joining social clubs around the age of 10 years old. Things like the Girl Scouts and the 4-H Club and maybe even the Little League. But at the age of 10, our next guest joined the Ku Klux Klan. Now she's all grown up. She's 20 years old. She's raising her 2-year-old daughter, who wore her first KKK robe at only 1 month old.
What kind of shit is that? Wearing that bullshit for? You gonna put a robe on a fucking 1-year-old child? Like, come on, man. That's dumb.
We're going to meet Wendy and her little daughter Ashlyn right after this. Debate going on here for sure, and one that's well worth it, at least I think. Before we meet Wendy, who I was telling you about, who's raising her 2-year-old daughter Ashlyn to hate, I guess, who put her little baby at 1 month old in her first KKK outfit. Before we talk to Wendy, I wanted this gentleman to ask his question that you were going to ask before the break.
Right. Well, one thing I'd like to start out saying is the gentleman in the black cap down here in the front row stood up before and said, I was born white and I want to die white. Well, I can guarantee you, sir, you will. Okay? I just want to let you know that, okay? Okay? Just want to let you know that you will, okay? And you know what? I was born a Jew and I'm going to die a Jew, and I'm proud of that too, okay?
Yep. Gamma life, fool.
But a white Jew, not a green Jew. Excuse me, okay?
Yeah, he's talking about a white Jew, not a green Jew. So, I guess you don't need to be Jewish to be the Incredible Hulk. Sorry, Hulk, you're not Jewish then.
What was the question?
Yeah, the question was, I was just curious, but please.
Child of Satan, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, listen, I respect your views, respect my views, okay? But I'd like to continue saying the question that I had was, I was just curious to know, and I can ask this to the young lady up there as well as to the two gentlemen and the three down in the front row as well. Were you people maybe abused as children, or seriously?
Listen.
No, so I'm being serious.
No, listen, I grew up in a
middle-class family.
Let me answer the question. Every time somebody comes up with an idea that's a little bit frightening, especially to the Jewish people, you have to be kooks, crazies, wackos, or child abusers. You're the child abusers and the child molesters, and you know it.
I'm just asking a simple question.
And you guys are the mass school shooters too. And pretty much the main corruptors of this fucking forsaken damn country.
Question I wanted an answer. If it was no, then I can accept that.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a woman mentioned before that we're all racially mixed, something that I do believe in. One thing I'm just curious, if, let's say you were in an accident that required a blood transfusion that saved your life, and
wouldn't take none of your blood unless you...
I'd rather die than take
this, and you found out afterwards, and you,
take this on.
One at a time, please.
and let's say you found out afterwards that the 5 pints that you received that saved your life, one came from someone who's Chinese, someone who's Spanish, someone who's black, whatever the religions. What would happen to you? Would you be now allowed, with that blood of all this interracially blood flowing through your veins, would you be allowed in your society that's all fenced in? Would you be allowed back into that group?
Because remember, there is a law that says that 135th rule, 1 drop of black blood, you're black.
I'd take my life.
Facts.
I couldn't live with the shame.
Thank you. But let's answer that question because when it comes down to life and death, baby, the only thing you better see if you need blood is red. And I want to ask you, if you found out that blood, and that's a great question, came from someone other than a non-white person, would you sit up there in your dying bed and operating room and say, no?
Yeah, of course.
Wendy's there.
He ain't afraid to die. So you mean to tell me that if you were at the hospital and you need blood and your life depends on having blood and you want to tell the doctor, say, hey doctor, before you give me the blood transfusion, make sure that the blood is made out of a white man. And the doctor's probably like, okay, sure. I can see what I can do.
They're shaking her head. She says she'd say no too. Wendy, you don't like people who aren't white, do you? No. I didn't. You kind of made me feel kind of strange. I always come up on the Rolanda show when I have guests, go up and say hi, how you doing? Welcome. This is my home. I like to treat people as if this is my living room. Wendy wouldn't look me in the eye.
Too bad it ain't your living room. You got a whole bunch of strangers in your fucking audience. And yeah, I understand the whole hospitality and all that good mannerism type shit, but this ain't your living room. Sorry, Rolanda.
Wendy wouldn't shake my hand. Wendy was very, very... Wendy was raised that way, you say. Your grandpa, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, stand up. That's your grandbaby there, right?
Proud.
1 month old, wore a KKK outfit.
White and proud.
White and proud.
1 month old.
And you're proud of that.
Yes, ma'am. Very proud.
You're very proud. You're going to
White
shape
and
that
proud.
little girl to hate when she's so full of love, I bet she is.
I bet you when she gets to be older, I mean, this was taking place in the 90s, so imagine she's probably around like 25, 24 years old right now. I bet she's piping down that black dick by now.
to talk to me, say hello, so I want to hear talk now. Go on, Wendy.
I wouldn't take anybody, no, non-white blood, that would be the same as mixed.
So you would die?
Yes, I would. Just like Jehovah's Witness.
She don't believe in that swirling. She don't believe in that swerving. She don't believe in that. She don't swirl. That's not her world. So she don't like black people. She don't want no black blood. That's not her style. Oh, Porky the Pig, Yokozuna looking ass.
Just won't have a blood transfusion. Same thing. I will not take any.
Sir, don't interrupt your grandchild, okay? Go on.
No, it's just like Jehovah's Witness won't have a blood transfusion. I won't accept no blood that's non-white.
I guess it gave you a great deal of pride to dress up your little daughter at 1 month old in a KKK hood and robe.
Yes.
And what would you like to see happen to people like me in this nation? And talk to me. You know what we do on the Rolanda Show a lot? Look at me straight in the eye, and I want you to talk to me. Really. Really. And you know something? And I respect whatever you say. Don't call me any words, any names. But I want you to look me in the eye and tell me, Rolanda, this is what I'd like to see happen to people who look like you.
Not necessarily I'd like anything to happen to you. I want to be separate. I want to be my own kind and improve my own race.
What will that mean for me?
Just like many black people have black power, Malcolm X. They want to improve their race.
We don't have just Malcolm X. We got Martin Luther King. We have Rosa Parks. We have Jesse Jackson. We got Marcus Garvey. We have a whole lot of civil rights leaders, and they fight for everything to fight the need to fight against oppression for the black society. So you're just listing one guy, and there's tons of people who pretty much kicked more ass than your so-called white historians. You get what I'm saying? And the vast majority of our civil rights leaders been through jail or been killed because of you racist motherfuckers. Look at MLK. He died over some racist bullshit. So yeah. So you're envious enough to say all this bullshit, but yet y'all have all these fucking racist ass people. Y'all got Bull Connor, who actually had something to do with the Jim Crow law and all that other bullshit. And Adolf Hitler is the king of all hatred, and he pretty much don't want nothing to do with America. And you sit there and praise his work too. Damn, these people are so stupid.
We want to improve ours.
Okay, I have no problem with that. Gung-ho, do that. But what does that mean for me?
Well, that means that we don't want to be around black people.
Okay.
We don't want to be around anybody that's non-white.
So does that mean that you'll move and go do your thing wherever you can and leave me alone?
If
Or does
the
that mean
government
that...
split the United States in half and said this side whites, this side the other half, I'd be more than glad.
Well, I'm going to fight every day.
What is up with the damn splitting? Like, goddamn, you don't split a fucking country. What the fuck do you think this is? North Korea and South Korea? Come on, man.
To make sure my government doesn't do that. But in the meantime, I just wonder what that means for me and people who look like me and people who don't look like me, who don't happen to be white. Is there some kind of movement, folks, that y'all want to do any kind of harm? Do you want to do anything? I mean, suppose the place that you want to move to has people who are different than you. You going to push them all out of their homes?
Not if it was split in half. We want to be to ourselves, like we live now. We live in an all-white county. We're to ourselves. There's low crime in our county. It's not like up here. Nobody gets murdered in our county. If
People get murdered every place, ma'am.
Not in our county.
Facts.
Not in our county.
Wait. I'll let you have a comment in a minute. I got to take a quick commercial break, and I'll get back to you, Grandpa. Coming up next, we're going to meet this young woman who says don't hate her just because she's a skinhead. We'll have her explain that right after this. We'll be right back in a minute, folks. And
I actually like that analogy. Don't hate me because I'm a skinhead. Wow. It's like saying don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Or don't hate me because I'm black. But don't hate me because I'm a skinhead. Powerful message.
Come to you. I'll come back to you. Let's meet somebody else now. Catherine is a skinhead. a culture she joined at the age of 13. But Catherine says she's not like most skinheads you hear about. What makes you different, Catherine?
Well, I'm a traditional skinhead. Skinhead really started out in Britain in the 1960s, in the late 60s. And it wasn't co-opted by the white power people until the mid to late 70s. It evolved from the hard mod culture, and there was a lot of influence. We adopted the dress of the West Indian immigrants, and we
So, pretty much, the skinheads pretty much adopted the West Indian culture, like people from like Trinidad, Jamaica, Barbados. Well, I think that's part of the Virgin Islands, but Caribbean motherfuckers, we still think that they're West Indians, Guyana, whatever. So, yeah, basically, she's trying to expose the truth about the skinheads, and they pretty much took the reggae culture from them and made it to their own version.
adopted their music, the ska, the skinhead reggae. So it was really largely based on black culture until the late 70s.
Isn't that ironic?
And that's why when it comes to America, we are the biggest swagger cultural jackers, because they will steal every fucking concept from every country and make it to their own version and pretend that they were the ones who made it happen. Capitalism at its worst.
I sure didn't know that. Wait a minute.
That's the funniest thing I heard.
The original skinheads were anti-immigrant.
What? Wait a minute. Wait one time. And let me point something else out here too. Notice that the seating arrangement has changed. Wendy didn't want to sit next to Catherine, and then Bob didn't want to sit, and it just switched all up here. Wendy, why didn't you want to sit next to Catherine?
I don't want to sit beside anybody that's a traitor, a race traitor.
A race traitor. Catherine, what do you say?
If I'm a white person, and I'm a normal, everyday white person, I don't agree with you. And yet, you believe that white people are the superior people, are the people who think straight. How can you justify the fact that I don't agree with what you're saying? I'm a race traitor, yet I'm your average, everyday white person.
Well,
White people are destroying our race.
Let Wendy answer, y'all. Wendy?
no, there is white people that's just as worse as the spicks coming over the line.
Watch your language, watch your language, watch your language.
So what you're saying is you don't want a world for white people. You
I'm
want a
saying you
world
look
for a
like a
small
person that would breed
minority.
with a black person. That's what I'm saying.
What do you
And
say?
I wouldn't want to sit beside of you. No.
Wait, what do you say?
You look like a person that would breed with a black person. And I'm not going to be beside of you.
She probably would. She'd probably take that black dick.
My first question is for Jeff.
Jeff, question for you.
I just want to understand where you read this in the Bible about Jews being the seed of the devil.
Yes.
Because Jesus Christ was a Jew.
No, wrong.
And so was his.
Facts. Even though I don't fucking follow Christianity anymore, the whole concept of Christianity is to follow Jesus. And Jesus is a prime example of Christianity. And Jesus is a Jew as well. So, again, what the fuck are they reading? I don't even know, because, I mean, even I don't want to read the Bible and it's some bullshit, but the ones they reading, I don't know what the hell they reading. I mean, either way, religion makes people stupid. That's just my opinion. If you believe in God, if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in Islam, if you believe in Buddha, if you believe in any religion, that is cool, but don't, force that shit around my fucking face and put it in my throat. Shove that shit in my throat and my head to make it think like this is the elite religion, and everything that you say in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever scriptures of a book, think otherwise. This is how you should think. Yeah, fuck that.
Okay?
I'll answer your
No,
question.
he was a Jew. Okay? And if you read the Bible, he was celebrating Passover, the Last Supper, which is a Jewish tradition. Okay?
No, let me answer it. Hey. Let me answer the question.
When you said before that you wouldn't accept black blood.
I'll answer your question. Let me answer her question first.
One minute. Wait a minute.
Let me answer the question. Why are you
Make it quick.
Why do you ask questions if I can't answer?
Well, go quick.
All right. Revelations 2:9, John 8:44. The Jews are the synagogue of Satan. It says right so in the Bible.
And you say what, sir?
When you said before that you wouldn't accept black blood, when you go get, suppose you in the hospital and all this, it's not labeled white blood, black blood.
She said if I knew it was a black
wait a minute.
blood.
I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I
Uh-oh, here comes Beans. He about to go in. He's like, man, fuck this shit. I'm about to go in. I'm about to spit some facts to y'all motherfuckers.
Oh, God bless.
these guys sitting right here. There is the reason why I got out of the Klan, because I don't want this to be my future.
The way how this shit looking, it look like it's about to be a WWE right about now. You got a guy who look like Paul Bearer, and his fucking tag team partners are the Ku Klux Klan, and this old fart looking like a goddamn big glass of Kool-Aid. Look like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah. With the Hulk Hogan on. Shit. You must have fooled me.
You got out of the Ku Klux Klan and gave up your position as Imperial Wizard and changed your racist ways was because you didn't want to associate with people like these guys up here on the front row.
I didn't, because, you know, they claim to be the master race. Well, if that's the master race, I don't want to be a part of it. And I believe, now, what I am today is I defend my race. My race is the human race.
Yes.
But I did it out of ignorance and unbelief, and I asked people to forgive me for the way that I treated people and for ever associating with people like that. But I want to see them change. These are not bad people. These are misguided people.
Let's talk about how you change your races. We'll be right back in a minute. See what Johnny can do right after this. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, listen, y'all. We've had a little ruffling of feathers around here, folks, jumping out their seats and things. Let's don't do that. Of course, there are things that upset me. Goodness knows, there's some things that I've heard you say, sir. I might jump up too. But that's not what this is about. We just want to sit up here and have a good conversation. I'm curious to know, Johnny Lee, what was it that made you get recruited in the first place and work your way up to the title of Imperial Wizard, that position you gave up and changed your ways, but what got you in there in the first place?
Because I needed attention. As a young man, I was looking to belong to something, and I wasn't getting attention at home, and I was looking to belong. I'd watched my father commit suicide. My mother was an alcoholic. I came from a broken home, and I needed somebody.
Look, Grandma, you gonna wear me out before this show is
even in the Klan anymore.
He's been in my organization.
I had to get out.
But the love of a black man, he was a black preacher, he showed me, he told me, he looked me.
Wait a minute, quiet down. Let's watch our language, folks, let's watch our language. I think it's important for us to hear how you, because come on, let me tell you, there are a bunch of young kids in your organization who don't like being, wait a minute, Gordon, Johnny.
Do you want to turn out like these guys? Come on.
I don't have to turn. I'm like these guys. He's a member. He's been in my organization. I'm a full-blooded white man. He's been in my organization.
You said you wasn't in the Klan.
You'll swing higher than anybody here today.
Well, you said you wasn't even in the Klan anymore.
He's been in my organization. I am a segregation. I am not in the Klan. I am not in the Skinhead. I'm trying to get an organization started.
So he's an affiliate to the Ku Klux Klan, basically. So he's from the organization. He's part of the Organization 13. Bruh. that's a perfect fit for him. He's from that organization. Kingdom Hearts reference, folks. If y'all haven't played the game, get the 3. It's worth playing. For all the anime fans, all the Disney fans, all the gamers out there, cop that.
Why don't you guys unify and work together? Why don't you guys unify and work together?
Look, Gordon. Now, you were on my show before, and you were disrespectful and all that other kind of stuff. We got that straight. But you hadn't changed a bit.
I sent him to your show, Ro.
That's what I was working.
Give that man a beer.
Look, Grandpa, you gonna wear me out before this show is out.
You'll see this shit. Like, real racist people would not want to be touched by Rolanda. And he just laughing and shucking and jiving and pretend he's racist. And he's laughing, having a good time with his ignorance. See, that's some stupid shit, to be honest. Like, you already know this shit is staged.
Come on, sit back down. Go on, you haven't changed a bit.
Well, it's like this.
But quiet down, I want to hear Gordon.
You got some Klan organizations that don't want anything to do with the skinheads. You got some skinhead organizations that don't want anything to do with the Klan. We've got to meet a middle ground where we work together, or we're never going to get anything
If you believe
done.
in white unity, why can't you guys all work together then?
That's what we are. We are working
We're
together.
doing it.
We are working together.
How come
It's just
they're
race
still
traders like
fighting?
you that come into the organization and cause us to
All
fight.
right, now I want to make you guys call me a race trader, but you said that people should have a right to decide how they want to go in life. You said that, right? Do you agree with what he said?
Well, I believe in segregation,
Okay.
but I don't believe in interracial marriages. That's
Do I
not
not have
right.
the right to
If
change
God
my
would have
mind?
wanted
Have you
us
ever
to
changed
mix
your mind
races,
on
he'd made us
anything?
all
He changed his mind since he was on a show
Have you
before.
ever got into something and changed your mind on it?
Wait, let him go.
Do I have a right to change my mind on
If you
something I
wanted to
once
just
believed
change
in?
your mind, why didn't you just go back in the closet where you belong?
I want to say something.
But you know, on national TV and saying that you're a traitor.
Because
Why make it worse on yourself? We're coming to power. Johnny, we're coming to power.
we're going to win, and you know it.
Johnny, let me ask you
By
this.
blowing up those alleged suspects in Oklahoma City, they belong
the
to
government? The
to the
FBI?
white supremacist
You mean
group.
the ATF?
Johnny, you claim that you could change a racist. What could you do to make Wendy possibly change her ways?
Well, it's hard to with her family sitting here, you know, and stuff. But by herself, if I could talk to her, what I would point out, for one thing, Wendy, I'll just go ahead and say it in front of everybody. Wendy, you love your child?
Very much. That's why
Okay.
I'm keeping her alive.
If a car, would you
You're keeping
care?
her alive.
You said you don't want to get any black
She's not
blood in her.
mixing.
You wouldn't let her have a black transfusion, right?
No, I
What
wouldn't.
if Rolanda?
But what if she got some black dick and she never told you? And she got them frat parties? Yeah, watch out for her when she get older.
If she's seen a car going to hit your
I
baby
would
and
save
Rolanda
your child
pulls
in a
her out
minute.
of the way, would you want Rolanda to pull your child out of the way from getting hit by a car?
Yeah, I'd like her to pull
You
her out
would
of the
want
way.
to do that, but you wouldn't take blood from her?
I wouldn't let her blood get in my baby's body.
You wouldn't
No,
let her
I
blood,
wouldn't.
so you'd let her save the baby's life in one way, but not in another way.
I
Is
wouldn't
that
let her.
hypocrisy?
I'm not letting her mix. No, that's not right. God does not believe in us mixing. He would have made us
How about
all
Acts
one color.
17:26 says,
If he
one
wanted
blood,
us to
God
mix,
made
we
all
would have been
races.
all one color in the first place.
If you watch, some of you watch the Seinfeld show. Many of you may know Jason Alexander, who plays George on that show. He is also joining a movement, but it's a... Wait a minute. Jerry, who is Wendy, Ashley's grandpa, you were telling me something about Wendy and the way Wendy grew up.
Wendy and Lamar both here. They was raised in all white counties, Dawson County, Dawsonville, Georgia.
And that's
Dawsonville,
what explains-
Georgia.
Let me tell you, you know something? My family,
305-34 Dawsonville,
you know something, Jerry? My family was the only black
Never
family.
mind.
Listen, my family was the only black family in my neighborhood growing up in North Carolina. I was the only black who
You
went to
on
my
the move?
school. No, I wasn't gonna move. And nobody tried to kick us out. In fact, we were a wonderful neighborhood.
all
But
right,
it didn't. But my neighbors didn't
Let
shape
me
who I
ask
am.
you one thing, Rose.
All right, okay, Jerry.
This thing sitting here look like one of them Three Stooges. Moe, I believe Moe. That white-headed Moe.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
There's no difference in the races.
Right.
Okay, if there's no difference in the races, why is it these black people ain't dying with this sickle cell anemia and ain't none of us up there in them.
Wait a minute.
Whoa. You really missed me on that bullshit. So all the anemia and sickle cells and smallpox and measles, y'all the ones pretty much contracted to us. So black people, we were straight. Y'all motherfuckers was already immune to all these diseases. If anything, y'all pretty much invented HIV and AIDS, and y'all spreading that shit to Africa and shit like that, and pretend that, okay, Africa has the highest HIV and AIDS population in the world. I think that it has something to do with white people. The Dutch people pretty much went to Africa, and that's why they migrated to South Africa. So, yeah, you know, that statement is very, 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 very invalid.
Okay, Jerry, let me ask you something. Jerry, let me ask you a question. It's my show, Jerry. Jerry, have you ever beaten up somebody just because they look different?
Yes.
Have you ever killed anybody because they look different?
Yep.
Have you ever hung anybody? It's called lynching because they look different. You can't answer that, sir.
I've done a lot of things in my...
Yeah, he did. He just didn't want to pretty much snitch. He ain't gonna be dry snitching on television. He ain't gonna be snitching on his homeboys. Be like, we ain't trying to tell on nobody that we lynch and hung niggers. We're trying to look cool on TV.
My lifetime.
Thank you.
Serve my white race.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I'm also saying this. Why, Ro? Why? This Three Stooges fella setting you up, dog?
Because you're beating up and killing people, possibly. If you don't say no, we leave it up to supposition.
Why don't we down the sickle cell? You should do it.
Well,
Raised up. Where is the thing?
Hell, got kicked out. No, I know my own code. You ain't nothing.
Let me tell you something, though. You don't get on me for a minute. Because you don't know that shit. You don't know.
Wow, this brother right here, he sound like he just came from a 1970s fucking rehearsal of a movie, like on some Coffee or Dolomite or Superfly. He looked like he's about to do a 1970s action-packed theme stunt. He's like, you prepared to die, sucker? He's like, I'ma kick your jive ass, you white honky turkey. You jive turkey. Boom, 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 boom.
I got the power of 3 men in this house. And I'm on national TV too. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm looking forward to that. I always wanted.
Oh shit! So we're gonna have the Ku Klux Klan versus the Nation of Domination, and she's talking about this ain't wrestling. To me, how this going on?
Jeff and Grandpa and the rest of the clan, I'm gonna love you whether you change or not. I just hope that something will make a difference in your life. Next time on Rolanda.
So what's up, guys? Sorry about how I deleted my first video. Because y'all can see this shit was fucking up. I was using a different editor at that time, and basically it wasn't doing a good job. So I'm gonna go back to my original roots on using my original editor. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys learn a valid lesson on this video. I sure as hell learned something today. I learned that racism is fucking stupid. No matter what color you are. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, green, or purple, or yellow, or any other color in the world. We all humans. We all breathe. We all bleed. We all shit. And we all do the same concept. It's just that we just are different when it comes to skin and DNA. But we all share the same habitat. And we share the same world. So, to be honest though, folks, I just found that video really, really, really vindictively crazy. So, you know, I can't see how people would be and act like this. So, you know, it goes to show in this day and age, even though this show was broadcasted and taped during the 90s, despite the fact this is an old television show, it goes to pretty much show that racism is still alive and is still kicking, no matter where you are. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry about the whole technical difficulties on the first upload. That's why I kind of made it better for y'all guys and pretty much get to the point of how I want my video to be like for y'all. So anyways, guys, I'm done here. Let me know what y'all think. Please leave your comments in the comments below. Make sure you like and hit that bell icon and subscribe to the motherfucking channel. Until then, folks, SBX, I'm out. Peace.